not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And it seems like I have disturbed the hornet's nest with my last video, which was my latest installment of Are You Pro-Black? Are You Pro-Ghetto? Now, you can interchange the word ghetto with drama. That would be perfectly acceptable. And I made that video to prove a point. And all I can say is, point has been proven. You know, bear in mind there's always a rhyme and reason for the things that I do. And I see that people have reacted and they have made very clumsy response. You know, and somehow these guys thought that I had slipped up. You know, that my credentials are destroyed. You know, they feel that they got me trapped. They got old Pinhead boxed in. Now, this is where I circle back around for the kill. You know, and for those that have reacted a certain way or have made those sloppy retorts, you know, all I have to say is that just sit back and endure this punishment. You know, and this is going to be the repercussions when you don't make or when you make such rash choices and so forth. Now, you know, what was I talking about? What was the premise of the video? I've stated that the coons have won, and of course I was being hyperbolic, you know. And see, the thing is, sometimes it's not about what you're selling, it's about how you conduct your business, you know. And I was simply putting emphasis on how what we call the quote-unquote coons, you know, how they run their platform and things of that nature. You know, I'm not saying that they don't, you know what I'm saying, take cheap shots or whatever, but I don't see them resorting to the sort of antics as a lot of the so-called blacks here in this corner of YouTube. Now, you know, I should have just named it this sector versus the coons. You know, I think that would have best illustrate my point. But in this corner of YouTube, you constantly hear people toss the phrase around. You know what I'm saying? If you're a pro-black, you're a fake pro-black. If you're a pro-black, then why this? I'm like, they toss that phrase around like pumpkins at a game of pumpkin toss at the state fair. And that's what it's about. But also to sit back and analyze, you know, their viewership. You know, the fact that, you know, people that come to their videos, you know, that comment aren't, you know what I'm saying, it ain't just a bunch of trolls. There's people that's serious about their content. And you know, and even though you say, well, the coons, they get support from white people and things of that nature, I'm like, you can't ignore that, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of black people that are interested in their conversation that agree with them. You know, so we can't just write it off and, hey man, they're just supported by a bunch of white racists posing as black people and so forth. But okay, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and so forth. You know, the thing is that when I was talking about how, you know what I'm saying, in the roast game, that's, I can understand people run off at the mountain and say, hey man, we're gonna roast them. But how people's family members and so forth, people that had nothing to do with it, are being roasted because when they're going after somebody, they're looking through their Facebook or whatever, or they're gonna find something, you know, an old uncle or some shit like that, so they can roast him too. And my thing is, you know, if you're for black people, if you're pro-black, why are you attacking somebody that has absolutely nothing to do with it? You know, and that was the thing. So therefore, that if you're disturbed by my video and said, oh, this ain't right, you know, and so forth, you should be disturbed at that, you know, in some of these, in the roast game, when somebody uses somebody's picture of somebody's great grandmother and roast her and so forth. You know, that should be unsettling to you. You know, but it isn't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about my video, but when somebody does that, you become mute. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're disingenuous. And that's exactly the point that I was trying to prove, and I'm glad people reacted the way that they did. You know, and as I said before, you're gonna have to sit back and take this punishment. You know, and that's the thing. So shame on you. Shame on you. You know, for not calling that out, but want to call out my video and so forth. And I'm pretty sure that people did not watch it in its entirety, you know, or didn't properly process the information before, you know what I'm saying, they jumped to conclusions. Now, Madhead Cali Guy and of course LA responded, and so for one by one, I'm gonna knock out all their responses like it's nothing. People don't understand that this is what I do. You know, I go to bed dreaming something like this would happen. Now, as far as Madhead's video, he owes me an apology. You know, because the things that he has stated was simply not true. 100% untrue. I'm like, what? He stated, first of all, he talked about, you know, where I'm in prison. Everybody in here is in the same boat. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's better than anybody. You know, I never said that. But we do know that there are certain people in this corner of YouTube that don't do the things other people do. You know that there's certain people that have never attacked family members. They may make roast videos, but they don't go the low blow. They're not going to drop anybody's documents and so forth. You know, like me, I'm trying to run a respectable platform. Now, Madhead stated that I was some sort of coon hunter, that I went out and found coons to hunt, you know, and that LA was just doing his thing in his corner of YouTube or whatever, and I was the agitator, I was the aggressor, I'm the one that drawed LA into it. I'm like, well, where does he get his information? A little fact checking, please, Mr. Madhead. People know that, no, I wasn't the one who found LA. You know, I wasn't the one who even made the first video against him, and I definitely wasn't the one that kept some ongoing beef with him. You know, I usually try to avoid the dude, even though when he take cheap shots at me, you know, I try not to mention his name and so forth. So here, Madhead is playing like LA is the victim. Madhead, the same guy who stated that the dude who killed LA's brother was a hero. Madhead also said that I went out and found Cadillac Gaddafi. I guess I'm like Ed McMahon and Star Search or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Going out finding people. No. As far as Cadillac Gaddafi, I made that video off request. Somebody requested me to make that video. And I wasn't the first one in this corner, Madhead, to make a video against him. So therefore, you're wrong right there. You know, Madhead also said that, you know, I've also made videos against Painless, David Carl, and so forth. Yeah, I didn't say that I didn't. You know, Madhead said, though, well, there's no proof because the videos are down or whatever. No. That's the thing. I'm like, Madhead, what kind of research do you do, buddy? No, the videos are still up. I rarely take a video down. Rarely taking videos down. All my illustrious videos against Tommy, Painless, David Curl, Queasy, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're all up for your viewing pleasure. All you have to do is go through this channel and so forth. What I was trying to say was that people built this like this anti-coon armada. You know, that was the point. That's what, you know, I make rebuttal videos against a lot of people, you know, white, black, and so forth, just, you know what I'm saying, and clear up misconceptions. But then, you know, it all kind of sort of collapsed. And my thing is, like, man, we're sitting here putting these so-called coons to a certain standard or whatever, and we don't like their platform, but the pro-blacks, or this sector, is engaging in activity that is way more uncivilized than the so-called coons. You know, and then there's certain people that use the same, that are supposedly against the quote-unquote coons, and use their same talking points. So, you know, so Madhead should retract his statements, but already no, he's not. So nice try, Madhead. Next time, do your homework. You know, because the things you said were a lie, and I can prove that they are a lie. Now, moving on. Now, the Cali guy made a video towards me, and I don't know if he's trying to diss me or make a support video, because he was all over the place. And I like how which him and LA did, was conveniently gloss over some of my major talking points. You know, Cali guy talked about, well, about being pro-black. He was like, well, being pro-black this, being pro-black is that, you know, and I agree with him. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's what it's like to be pro-black. So therefore, you know what I'm saying, he should have his nerves rattled. Also, when he sees videos of people just roasting and so forth. Now, Cali guy also, his channel proves my point. You know, I'm like, he doesn't, you know, he gets abysmal reviews on his channel. But I would say that Cali guy is one of the good guys. He's not the guy that's going to use lowbrow tactics to get viewers and to get subscribers and so forth. You know, like a Voltron Black, and you know what I'm saying, and others, the good guy, the good old boys. And, you know, they don't do all the other stuff and so forth, and that's why their views suffer from it. You know, same thing with me. Now, Cali guy has to ask himself, now how can somebody just jump in this sector, a white person or a black person, get 400 subscribers literally overnight, make some video that gets 600 views, and you know, you got people in this corner of YouTube that's been putting in work for years, and that can barely scratch 300 views. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Something, yeah, something's not right there, because we've turned this place into the roast arena, the roastorama. You know what I mean? That is just filled with so much drama, and anybody can insert themselves in the drama by making some sort of video that make people go, ooh, you know, roasted or roast king and so forth. That they turned this corner of YouTube and the school bus ride home. That people are more fixated with these drama videos than they are videos where people have some sort of substance to it. You know, and that's the point. You know, and I can't believe that he missed that. Now we're going to go into LA. You know, I guess I'm going to leave the best for last. And I looked in LA's video, he was debating himself. You know what I'm saying? He put words in my mouth, and he commenced to debating these same words. Now, he tossed me over into the Coon Pal, and we know how that goes. They feel that your argument is mute. I'm like, people, have a coon hair trigger, you know, and that's the thing. That I'm like, you know, people was actually trying to call Spike Lee a coon because he dared talk about, you know, the concept of black on black crime, because a lot of these pro-blacks are trying to push police misconduct so hard that they don't want to hear any other argument. Now, let's go into Tariq Nasheed. You know what I'm saying? Why did I diss Tariq Nasheed? Well, first of all, Tariq roasted me, if people remember, on his radio show. You know, Tariq Nasheed went on a 15-minute rant against I. You know, and Tariq Nasheed is no Randall Robertson. Tariq Nasheed is a hustler. You know, Tariq stated that if he won the lottery or whatever, he won't be doing what he's doing. You know, could you imagine Malcolm X stating that, well, you know, if I win the lottery, then I'm out. You know, I'm not here. I'm not going to try to wake up my people. As far as Tariq Nasheed's, Hidden Colors series, I'm like, that's put together by different people. If somebody read books, you know, they would already know all that information, you know, and that's the thing. And Tariq Nasheed clowns people, you know, he'll call people dark. Now he talks about this melanoid thing, but insults people for being dark skinned, for having that extra melanin, you know, and so forth. And he didn't do it with just timing. You know, I'm like, he wants to be, I'm like, this dude used to be, you know, a gangster rapper, and like, he used to do all sorts of things. You know, he probably dabbled into boxing. And until he found, you know what I'm saying, his groove, he can find something that, oh, he can really make money off of. You know, you see, there's people like Randall Robertson that were the truth, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning. You know, and therefore, now when we go into this whole pro-black platform about what it is, I think it needs reformation, because I look at you know what I'm saying, why black people voted for the Clintons. You know, because our pro-black leaders pushed us in that direction, told us that Clintons were good folk, and since people want Bernie Sanders to win the election, they're trying to demonize the Clintons. Now, if the Clintons did this back in the 1990s, why are people just now hearing about it? Why didn't you bring it up when Hillary Clinton was up against Barack Obama? Because you knew at that time she didn't have a prayer that Barack Obama had the black vote in the bag. And so therefore, you know what I mean? It was no sense of bringing up what the Clintons have done. Now, if you read books by Randall Robertson, he pointed out in his books, he pointed at how shiesty the Clintons were. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go. I don't want to get off subject, but I'm just saying that sometimes, you know, the views, you know, and the thoughts of, you know, of pro-blacks have been marginalized. Now, LA also went into white people. He went into a long rant about how devious white people are. So white people are the most corrupt. White people are the main ones on welfare or whatever. Now, in my video, where did I say that white people was these angelic, good-mannered, good-spirited people that have our best interest? You know, when did I say that? I stated that I respect the fact that they overcame their biological handicap to take over the world. When I said take over the world, I'm telling you that white people are tyrannical. But, and when I say respect, it's not the respect. It's not that I can't think of the word. When I say respect, it's like the same respect that, you know what I'm saying, if somebody was born handicapped or so forth and they overcame the odds. You know, somebody that's born with no legs and they figured out how to drive a car. You know what I'm saying? That sort of respect. Not the sort of admiration and be like, oh, I'm glad that they've done that and so forth. You know, because I'm a victim of white imperialism myself. Now, ask LA, has he ever read the book, The Iceman Inheritance? You know, I've mentioned this book quite a few times, written by Michael Bradley. And this book chronicles white people from the time that they were Neanderthals in the cave all the way up into modern times. You know, and yes, it states that white people are the most aggressive race, on Earth, and that when archaeologists went and dug up old skeleton bones of even the Neanderthals, when they piece their skulls together, they see a lot of intrusion and trauma, stating that, hey man, these Neanderthals, all they did was hit each other with blunt objects. Yeah, so yeah. And but also, when we talk about white supremacy and when the white man falls, when white people evaporate or so forth, when they're not longer on the earth, white people are going to go by their terms. Doesn't mean the melanoid people will never have this uprising and drive them back into the ocean, because the ancient Egyptians called the white people sea people because they came from the sea to Egypt. But we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go by their own terms. See, the thing is, I can drop more knowledge in 10 minutes than you can get on LA's whole entire channel there. And also, white people, when white people see my videos, white people call me a racist and some sort of black supremacist. Now, white people consider LA too dumb to be a racist and so forth. And that if there's white people in this corner of YouTube, it's not on the account of my videos. If black people was handling business and having real discussions, with all the malarkey, white people won't even be here. White people can now just come in and make a roast video, and people will consider them the exalted and so forth. Matter of fact, that white girl, people said that she was black people's savior and some shit like that. But no, white people don't want to have any interactions with me. They considered me just a stone cold racist type individual. And that's the thing. Now, LA himself is a poster child for white supremacy. I'm like, he's the white man's dream. A dysfunctional black male, a useless black male, a non-threatening Negro. I'm like, he's somebody that is considered out of the way. He's in no way in the white man's realm, trying to compete with him, unless he's trying to get a hold of some white trash and so forth. But they don't have to worry about him moving into their neighborhoods, him at their jobs, unless he's there to empty out the garbage cans and so forth. Now, and if you look at LA's channel, and you look at my channel, that will paint a crystal clear picture about who's cooning and so forth. I'm like, his whole platform is dedicated to attacking people, mainly black people, and that's one thing white people get a kick out of. And then when LA is being roasted real bad and so forth, that he may go back and try to make some sort of real talk videos or whatever, because he's being dusted in the roast arena or roastorama and so forth. Now it's been it's been exposed that he has some sort of insect infestation and so forth. So therefore he's gonna be on his pro-black kick. And that also reminds me that in LA's video, he constantly talked about pro-black, pro-black. We're the pro-blacks. That's why people want to abandon the pro-blacks. So LA's pro-black. When I look at the things, I can literally, I can write an encyclopedia on all the coonish behavior this guy's done. I'm like, when it comes to the Tommy, I'm like, this dude was on and jumped off the Tommy Sotomayor merry-go-round. Bear in mind, I've been here for a very long time, and I observed things like the wise old owl. This guy was for Tommy, then he was against Tommy, then he was for Tommy, he was against Tommy. I'm like, boy. And, he's made videos stating Tommy's the king of YouTube. Literally had a video stating king of YouTube. He made some sort of video telling Tommy Sotomayor that he couldn't give him any money because he had this money on this card and so forth. What card? What is are those one of those prepaid cards you get off the internet and so forth? Was that a card you stole from somebody? That's the thing. But also, one thing that LA has did that I consider it unforgivable is when there was two white racists that did a support video for Tommy Sotomayor, and thankfully Philly just extracted this video, and then since LA was on Tommy's jock, LA stated that he didn't find nothing wrong with what the white people said was the truth. Now LA is going to state that, hey, he was being a double agent, that he was only pretending to be cool with the coons so he can turn around and stab them in the back and so forth. But there are certain things that you don't play with. So with LA, we don't know what to take seriously. I'm like, this is a dude who co-signed a Latina saying the word nigger. I'm like, he also stated that, spick is just as bad as the word nigger. They're both kind of like racist terms. When spick is just spick comes from the word Hispanic. Nigger, that's, we can say, well, it comes from Negro and so forth, but that's like just a derogatory term used for black people. But black people have been called nigger so much we think it's our name now. So I can go on. I'm like, man, I can go on forever. A lot of LA is the unlearned, and the way, like, he'll call black people coons for being Christian and so forth. Like, it's a coon religion or things of that nature, because the Bible condones slavery. But ask LA, where does the Bible originate from? Because there was a time when the Europeans used to persecute the Christians. Yeah, the Romans used to throw them in that gladiator arena. So somebody had to introduce Christianity to the Europeans. And a lot of those going into the Dead Sea Scrolls that was found in a cave near the River Jordan. I don't know how true that is, but it's safe to say that the white Anglo-Saxons didn't write the Bible. They may have. Now, as far as the cooning goes, I'm a coon. The term pro-black and the term coon, have become empty words now. And what I've stated was that what's wrong with calling out the stupidity, of a lot of black behavior, and just letting people know that their actions, they may see ramifications for their actions, and that's one thing that the quote-unquote coons do, and a lot, and in certain aspects they're right. Now, I'm not going to agree with them when they say stuff like slavery was a choice, or racism doesn't exist, or slavery wasn't lucrative to the white man. Matter of fact, I have that's why I said I'm gonna have a video called Cooning versus Constructive Criticism. And and me, I have videos criticizing, the whole American demographic, and so forth. And that's what it's about. But I just simply wanted to acknowledge, that they run a tight ship over there. That, I don't see Painless Risen getting a hold of somebody's photos of their great 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 grandaunt or whatever and then roasting there. It just seemed like they have a certain level of integrity. Now, of course, what the Coons are saying isn't exactly groundbreaking. They're not exactly redefining the Einstein-Rosen bridge, but I'm just giving a nod to certain things that they're doing right.